There was an albino gorilla with pure white fur who was incredibly intelligent, both mentally and emotionally. When his owner tried to communicate with him, the white gorilla would listen attentively and earnestly. Once, when his owner tried to fist bump with him, the gorilla reached out and revealed his playful side. Despite being orphaned by poachers at a young age, the gorilla never grew to hate humans. Instead, he remained trusting and gentle toward the world. However, one day his owner Davis received troubling news. The white gorilla had wandered into brown bear territory and killed a bear with his bare hands. This seemed impossible since brown bears are among the most fearsome predators on land. The gorilla was shivering in a cave when Davis found it. When Davis called to it, the gorilla, which was half Davis's size, was now several heads taller than Davis. Davis could only isolate him, and that night the gorilla grew to over 6.5 feet and weighed 660 pounds. By the next morning, it was nearly 10 feet tall and weighed 990 pounds. The cause of this rapid growth traced back to 2 nights ago when a device fell from the sky. The gorilla had encountered it and was exposed to green gas. A woman who identified herself as a genetic scientist later explained to Davis that a genetic engineering company had been developing technology to combine different animal traits, the blue whale's growth rate, the rhinoceros beetle's strength, and the cheetah's speed, into a gene virus. Their illegal space station had been destroyed by escaped giant rats, causing 3 vials of the virus to fall to Earth. The white gorilla had been infected by one of them. Before she could finish explaining, the gorilla went berserk, easily breaking through iron doors and walls as if they were foam. He leaped out of the zoo, causing panic among crowds. Police eventually subdued him with tranquilizers, while Davis and the scientist were mysteriously taken aboard a massive aircraft. On the plane, Davis learned his captors were government agents handling this monster crisis. The white gorilla wasn't the only one. There was also a 30-foot wolf that had devoured an entire special forces team and brought down helicopters. Suddenly, despite continuous sedation, the gorilla awoke at 33,000 feet. Davis knew trouble was coming as the gorilla broke free from his restraints, damaged the plane, and sent it plummeting. Davis helped the scientist and an unconscious agent escape by parachute while the gorilla crashed with the plane into farmland. When Davis landed among the wreckage, he couldn't find the gorilla's body. It had survived and escaped. At a military base, Davis learned both monsters were heading to Chicago, drawn by certain frequencies due to bat sonar genes in their makeup. Believing an antidote might be at the gene company, Davis and the scientist stole a helicopter. The situation in Chicago was dire. The gorilla and wolf were wreaking havoc, and military forces were helpless. Worse yet, a third monster emerged from the river, a gigantic alligator bigger than the others, whose every roar and step shook the earth. Davis and the scientist found the antidote at the gene company but were captured by the antagonist. During their escape to the roof, all 3 monsters, attracted by frequencies, began climbing the building. The gorilla reached the top first, grabbed the villain who had the antidote in their bag, and swallowed them. The alligator's attack caused the building to collapse, but Davis, the scientist, and the gorilla survived. The gorilla emerged from the rubble with a gentle expression. The antidote had worked. However, the other monsters awakened, leading to an inevitable battle. Davis armed himself to fight alongside his partner, realizing the alligator was several times larger than the gorilla, like Godzilla. With the gorilla wielding a steel bridge against the crocodile and being attacked by the wolf, allowing the wolf to actually fly back when the gorilla throws it out with both hands. When the gorilla is pinned down by the wolf, Davis helps out with a grenade attack, and the wolf, enraged by Davis, rushes this way only to land right in the crocodile's mouth, which eventually kills the wolf, but then goes after Davis. The gorilla saves Davis by throwing an armored car at the crocodile. The fight continued with the gorilla being seriously injured by a steel beam. Davis, desperate to save his friend, attacked the alligator with a military helicopter. In a final showdown, the gorilla, like a white King Kong, delivered the killing blow by driving an iron rod through the alligator's eye. Davis is heartbroken when the gorilla collapses, but suddenly he sees the gorilla's fingers move, and it turns out that he was just pretending to be dead, which makes Davis happy. As they leave the ruins, we see the gorilla turn around to save a human trapped in the building, showing that it is still gentle with humans, despite having lost its parents to them.